Hello, fellow drinkers at the Jolly Heretic, resident poet here, and a hello again to those of us joining from History Debunked. Now, hopefully some of you, or indeed all of you, caught last night's stream, where Ed's guests were a Mr. Lipton Matthews and a Dr. Wilfred Reilly, and they were discussing the subject of wokeness as a manifestation of white liberals' guilt, amongst other things. Very entertaining and informative. We're joined here by Matthews and Reilly, whose talents we rate very highly. Yank and Jamaican, they'll bring home the bacon and show that the left are just wily. And I think that's precisely what they did. So we continue with Sex Week here at the Jolly Heretic, and Ed produced a video on the psychology of people who develop fetishes or paraphilias. The latest here during Sex Week, we learn of another new clique. Those with a fetish need not act coquettish, confessing the pleasures they seek. And earlier on today, in a similar vein, Ed got to the bottom, as it were, as to why some people engage in rimming. Ed broaches a topic quite grim. The question of why people rim. An erogenous zone that's best left alone. I trust I'm not overly prim. So moving away from this week's theme, we come to more tragic news, where this week we learned of the sad death of Tina Turner. Rest in peace, the late Tina Turner. You're sadly now on the back burner. You sure didn't like your ex-husband Ike, even though he's the primary earner. So very sad news there about her death. But to lighten the mood, it's time for today's funny story. So one day, Sharon, a young mother, goes to her local social security office. The man behind the counter asks her a few questions. He says, "How many children do you have?" And Sharon says, "I've got 8 boys." And the guy says, "What's the name of the first one then, please?" "John." "Okay. And the second one?" "John." "They're both named John." "Yeah." "Well, how about the third one?" "That's John as well." "Another John?" "Yeah." And on it went. The 4th, the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th child, all called John. And the chap says, "Isn't it a bit confusing having them all named John?" And Sharon says, "Nah. If anything, it makes it easier. When it's dinner time, I say, 'Come in, John, it's time for your dinner.' And they all come in. And when it's bedtime, I say, 'Right, John, time for bed.' And they all go up to bed, you see." And the guy says, "Well, I suppose that makes sense. But what if you want to talk to one of them individually?" And then Sharon says, "Oh, that's easy. I just call them by their father's surname." So that was today's funny story. So that was just a roundup from me today of the Jolly Heretics output and that of History Debunked. If you did enjoy it, please do like and subscribe. And thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see each other very soon. Goodbye.